What up, everybody? We're back for another episode of Too Much Fantasy Football. It's Brian, it's Brennan, and we're rolling those dice today. We're looking for those mid-round gambles, those players that could shoot your team all the way to the championship that we're looking for. How are we doing today, man?
Doing pretty good, except for my Wi-Fi. So it's always a
Hey,
good
no
start.
Wi-Fi, no problems. Or
That's
no,
right.
I think it's the opposite there. Yeah,
Yeah.
but no, we got it figured out. We're hardwired in here. We're ready to go. Brennan's done betting on some Little League World Series. He's ready for some football gambling because it's just the degenerate that he
Team
is today.
Venezuela, baby. Let's go.
Alrighty, let's roll them dice. Let's get into these gambles.
Indeed.
Those graphics, man. We got to pay that intern finally, man. He is crushing it. Yes, mid-round gambles. We've given you our late guys or our guys in the double-digit rounds. So now we're picking guys through rounds 5 through 9, 6 through 9, somewhere in there. But essentially, after you get through those top four picks, those ones that really make or break the foundation of your team, this is where I really start taking shots. Some players that maybe I take them a bit earlier than I should, but because I see them with the potential to finish significantly higher than where they're going. So, why don't you go ahead and start us off? Who do you have for us, number one?
Yeah. So I pivoted last second, but I've been taking this guy a lot in a lot of drafts. I just kind of had an epiphany, so to speak. But he's a first round pick this year. He was taken top 10. I believe it was 10, actually. It's Tedero McMillan. I think his current ADP on Sleeper is 601. ESPN is 803. So like a 2 round difference is kind of wild. That's
And then
absurd to me.
709 on Yahoo. So it's a different round
Yeah.
on every platform.
He's wide receiver 30. First off, like I can't think of the last time, someone taken in the first round like that hasn't just given you at least someone as a wide receiver 2 option, right? Like that's off the rip for me. The second thing for me is that I just think that we found out later on Bryce Young had, an immense connection with him, that he is now very much a part of this offense. He's going to be the lead guy for this offense. It basically bumps Xavier Legette, who they spent in the 32nd overall pick, another first round pick. I definitely see him beating out a wide receiver 30. I just there's no way. The bare minimum I see him being is a wide receiver 24.
It's kind of hard not to envision him being. I kind of have him in that like 20 to 24 range is where I see him finishing. It just may not be on the like absolute immense volume that you're seeing some of these guys, just because Adam Thielen is going to be there, and I'm sure going to annoy the hell out of some of the targets. But this is a big-bodied fella. If we're talking somebody who can absorb 5 to 6 targets a game while also being a red zone threat down there, I think it's him and Jatavian Sanders that are really going to be the ones looking down there when it comes to the goal line. So you have that possibility, and he's going above guys like Zay Flowers. And I mean, I know there's a big hive right now for Jameson Williams, but I think I would take him over Jameson Williams at this point too. Just with him being the clear cut in this offense when JMO, he's obviously going to be behind, Amon-Ra St. Brown. You still have the two running backs, you still have Laporta. So I just feel that he seems like a much higher floor player than the guys that you're getting in this area.
Yeah, like he's 6'5", 212. So I definitely I don't see it out of the realm him being close to double digit touchdowns his rookie year, just because of the sheer size alone. For me, like the comp that I had for him was kind of Mike Evans esque. I would say it's like a Mike Evans light would be my comp for him. But a Mike Evans light is still going to be a wide receiver too, like a bare minimum for fantasy. So that's where I see it at. I just I
First
keep
four,
yeah, keep going.
I was just say first four games of the season, he's at Jacksonville, at Arizona, Atlanta, and then at New England. That's four decent defenses. I mean, I guess they have decent pieces to them, but overall, that's very beatable teams. We're seeing this Carolina offense as being a trending upward team. So I'm all for this. I love the pick.
Yeah. What about you? Who is your first guy?
Well, I guess with him being a gamble, how high do you think you could see his ceiling being?
He's wide receiver 30. I'll cut it in half. I'll say wide receiver 15. I'll,
It's aggressive, but I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. I'm right there with you. I'd probably give him a top 15, top 16 as his ceiling.
yeah. I don't want to be too greedy with wide receiver 1 finish, but I'll say like he'll
Yeah,
be in that hunt.
100%. We're looking for injuries at that point if we're calling
Yeah.
for a wide receiver one. But the talent's there. I'm excited. He made some amazing catches there in Arizona, so I think that was
Mhm.
some of the big allure to him. First player I'm going to go with a running back here. And imagine that we're going with another rookie here. Go with R.J. Harvey. R.J. Harvey right now going on the 5'11 in Sleeper, 8'11 in ESPN, and then 6'02 in Yahoo. So again, this is another player that we're finding in ESPN. You can absolutely dominate with the value. And 5'11's a little bit more rich here on Sleeper, where it's the point where I don't think it's a huge value. But you're falling back to that 8'11. We're talking about a Sean Payton offense that is consistently top five in running back targets. A guy that's also seen, oh, he's got J.K. Dobbins. I'm worried. I don't know if that's the right guy. We've also seen Sean Payton support two top 12 running backs multiple times. Older running back, he's technically in the prime, even though he is coming out at 24 years old. He likes to bounce it outside, as we saw in the start. So I'm thinking R.J. Harvey should absolutely crush this when we're looking at the percentage chance of running backs that are being taken in this zone that are rookies. They crush it at an over 50% tap. So yeah, give him to me. Put him on my
Okay.
team.
But he's listed as the RB5 on the depth chart, Brian.
See, I think he can climb above that. Folks, this is just stupid mind work by the coach. He put every single rookie there last in the depth chart. So, if anything, I'm just hoping this drops his ADP for me.
See, I have a hard time with RJ Harvey. I think when he was drafted, it was great. I was like, all right, I can see the full commitment to him. And then they got to go and sign J.K. Dobbins. That was just like the nail in my side.
It's a guy who has had just about every devastating injury you possibly can. Came back and produced us, I think it was 900 yards, 8 touchdowns last year. It was
Mhm.
good, but that team, they didn't even re sign him. This team had familiarity with him in the Chargers, and they still didn't bring him back. They brought in Najee instead, who, that it's not working out too well. But I guess it's just. I was always in love with J.K. Dobbins. So at the point that I had to turn that page and say, hey, I can no longer, beat the drum for this guy's going to be great. He might take something away from it, but like I said, Sean Payton can support two running backs, and I think outside Cortland Sutton, I really don't think there's going to be a dominant force in the receiving game. So I think you're going to see more hitting the running game than the passing.
5'8", 205. Like, I think my question for him is like, will he be the goal line back? Will it be Dobbins? Who gets the first reps? Will it be Harvey? Will it be Dobbins? I think like guys like I think Harvey is someone I take over like David Montgomery. I take him over Joe Mixon currently, but like there's a couple other guys that like I'm gonna list some guys because how high do you think he finishes? He's RB24. So where do you think he finishes?
I think his absolute ceiling could be RB12. I think he could finish as the RB1. Now that's his absolute ceiling. I'm not saying that's where I've
Okay.
got him projected. I've got him projected to closer to 20 than I do 12.
Okay.
But if J.K. Dobbins comes out there and doesn't do much, if we see R.J. Harvey as the goal line guy and he's getting all the receiving work, I just think that the opportunity alone, this offense is going to be good. The defense is going to be good. So like this team's going to have the ball quite a bit. So yeah, I think his absolute ceiling is RB12. But yeah, I've got him projected a lot closer to 18 than that.
All right. I he's one of those guys I think I'm fading this year. So I think we're on complete opposite ends.
And I like J.K. Dobbins as well, but I think he's more of the floor play and Harvey's the ceiling play. I don't think
I agree
Dobbins
with
could
that
finish his
one.
top
Yeah.
12.
I definitely take J.K. Dobbins later in the draft just because it's like, well, I know he's going to get work. They're definitely going to try to work him in. And he's at double digits in the round. So, like, I'm not really risking a whole lot. But with
Yeah.
RJ Harvey, you're kind of risking, like, you're kind of taking him at your flex. Like, you're legitimately saying, like, all right, this guy is going to be some sort of a focal point on my team, at least in some sort of
So I really
fashion.
like that 811 on ESPN. Oh, that's a gnarly pick there. Because at that point, you don't need him to start, even though
No,
I'm sure he will be very shortly.
it's so crazy the discrepancies between ESPN and Sleeper. Like, Tet was
Wild.
2 round difference, and he's also 2 round difference. It's just nuts.
Yeah, it looks like we're picking on ESPN this year, folks.
Yeah, for
Who you
sure.
got as your next guy?
My next guy, he's a little short guy. He likes to looks like he runs around with a phone. Looks like a little toddler running around. We try to chase him. It's Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray's my guy. I think it's kind of absurd that he is currently QB. I believe he's QB 12 right now. He's QB 9 on most people's rankings. For me, like I look at it, there's guys that like it's Bo Nix who he had a great year. Will he have the sophomore slump? Baker Mayfield again, left tackle is concerned, but what I like more about Kyler right now, this I think this is the cheapest you'll get him because now his team is incorporating a modern day offense. They're going to use motion.
What?
I I look at his stats last year, right? It was just he was like kind of consistent, kind of not, like 15, and then 1, 17, 24, 7, 25, 6, 10, 34. Like he's all over the place. But I just think a second year of Marvin Harrison, Trey McBride's now fully established. James Conner's a lead back. I don't care what they say. Trey Benson's not getting in the work in this offense. Uh, where he's going to in rounds 8, I mean, he's going 901 in sleeper, 810 in ESPN. I mean, you can build your whole entire team and then get a guy who can, we've seen be almost QB1 before.
And something to, because I'm about to go in the opposite direction. His touchdown percentage last year was at 3.9%. NFL average is about 4.4, which leads to a regression closer to the mean. He should be closer to that 4.5 somewhere in there for hopefully even 5%. We saw a decent amount of touchdowns go to Marvin Harrison, but Trey McBride, man, he had 3 in total, and one of those he had to pick up because it was a fumble. So I think that is cause for concern in Kyler. My issue with him is just the price. You are taking him at QB9. That's where I have him projected about this year, and it's not that I think that, hey, you're buying the QB9, you're going to get the QB9. I don't think it's that simple when it comes to Kyler. He can be incredibly streaky. We know this team likes to run as well. So if James Conner gets 2 touchdowns, maybe Trey Benson finds the third, Kyler may be stuck there without very much, especially when we know he's so hot and cold with wanting to run the ball. Last year, what was it, 47% of his games were below 20 points. It's kind of the threshold you really were looking for. So I don't think he's a bad pick, but my big issue with him, I just don't think he's that league winning pick because of the inconsistencies we can get him or we have gotten from him.
No, I definitely understand that, but I just think like where like 810, right? 901, like because like the guys behind him, like Brock Purdy, there's question marks with the wide receiver room. Justin Fields is like, well, he's the biggest question mark himself. I just feel like there's kind of like I don't want to say drop after him, but I want to say he's kind of like the clear, like there's a clear cut, what's the word I'm looking for? Tier break. Thank you. There's a tier break right after and he's the last one a part of it. So I want a piece of it.
Dak's going at QB 13, about a round and a half later on average in the mid 10th round. I like that shot there. You've also got Drake May there just a couple rounds later. I don't know. I don't hate it. For if you're in a 10-team league, you want an action, you want a shot at one of these top quarterbacks. It's probably where I'm going then. Probably going to double dip with like a Kyler and a Dak. But 12-14 team league, I just don't know if I want to make that investment there.
Fair enough.
Alrighty, now I'm going to go with another short guy. Imagine he's short. He's running back. They're usually pretty short. And goodness, this hurts me. I want to pick his backup. I want to go with the other guy. I want to go with him taking over this backfield, but he got carted off this past week. Tajay Spears did. He's got an ankle injury. So we're going to talk about Tony Pollard here for the Tennessee Titans, going as RB27 on average 708, as late as 902 on ESPN. God, look at these ESPN discounts, man. Why don't we play over there more? Oh, because the platform sucks, Brian. Oh, that's right. That's right. But Tony Pollard is looking to be set up pretty well. He's finally got what we're looking at as, I think we can call it a competent quarterback with Cam Ward. Cam Ward's going to want to zoom the ball out. He's going to want to get it out of his hands. He's going to want to toss it. Tony Pollard last year, 75% of the rush share. His consistency, 52% of his games were over 10 points. And I think this offense should be in a better position. They invested in the offensive line. Maybe not appropriately, but they did invest nonetheless. So give me Tony Pollard as a guy who should easily finish as a low-end RB2, if not potentially have some higher-end upside with this offense being better. And Tajay Spears is struggling to stay healthy in his career.
Like, I want to hate the pick, but it's really hard just because, like, he is
so bland. It's so unsexy.
Yeah, like, he's just very consistent. He's just going to give you at least a safe floor of, like, an RB2 finish, right?
Tony Pollard or Brian Robinson?
Oh, dude, you can't do that because my boy Bill's killing it in the preseason.
Exactly. Give me Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard and Tyrone Tracy.
Tyrone Tracy. Oh, I don't care about Cam. Yeah, I don't care
That
about team
schedule
schedule.
is so damn rough. I like Tyrone Tracy. You and I both talked about him last year. We are excited for him, but
Hmm.
damn if he's not in a situation with just a bad offense, a bad schedule. So I would be taking him there. I'd be taking him over Jalen Warren, Travis Etienne, Quinshon Judkins. Good lord, ADP keep dropping. I don't know why he's still there in the 30s.
Yeah, I don't know either. Honestly, I think they're just kind of holding on to hope.
Right. But yeah, Tony Pollard, not the sexiest of picks, but if you go more of a hero slash zero RB approach, you could load up on maybe a quarterback, a tight end, and a bunch of wide receivers. I think he fits in beautifully as an RB2 for you, especially at the RB27 price.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Just about I think what 2 years ago he was like going as like the RB5, RB6 for Dallas,
Yeah.
and now we're looking at his RB28. It looks like here. I do like Tony Pollard now. I think he's gonna obviously he's gone up the draft boards a little bit just because of the Tajay Spears news. I like the pick though. I think it's worth the gamble just because like at least you know at the end of the day the worst he'll be is an RB2 for you. There's still an upside though that he could be closer to RB1, like RB15 if he stays healthy all year long and Cam Ward shows promise and there's a functioning offense. So no, I like the pick.
We've got a running back going in the similar area. Who do you have for us?
See, I got a guy that I liked a lot out of this draft, and then he goes to a team that's just notorious for have a head coach who loves bell cow type of backs. The only problem is though is that there's an offensive coordinator who's just the antichrist himself. It's Caleb Johnson. I think Caleb Johnson going currently as RB27 is crazy because if I'm not mistaken, I try to find the stat here, but I think last year was the worst year, but before that, all of all of Mike Tomlin's RBs have been an RB1 or not, or are just right around there, except for last year, if I'm not mistaken. He loves himself a bell cow type of back.
Oh, he does. He does. And as much as
Yes.
people want it to be Jalen Warren, it's not going to be Jalen Warren, folks. He'll be involved,
Yeah.
but he is not going to be a bell cow.
The only problem for Caleb right now and what he's working on is his pass protection. So that's what he's been doing a lot of in practice. So I think right now you'll see it's going to be a slow burn for him. I think he'll be down for the first. He'll get the first early down snaps. Then the third, the protection will probably go to Warren. But once Caleb shows improvement, I don't see how he beats his ADP. Like he's currently going and what is it right here? He's currently going rounds 708 in sleeper and 807 ESPN. Again, he's a perfect type of back that if you punt an RB, I would be snagging up him in all my drafts.
He's an extremely hard player for me too because I want to be a little bit higher in on him. But like you said, I think it's going to be a slower burn, and I don't know if he's going to return value as far as his draft price. While at the same time, I don't think you're going to get him. Like if he kind of has a slower start for the first 4 to 6 weeks, and maybe week 5, week 6, we kind of see it steam up. You are not going to get this guy. I highly doubt you're going to be able to go out there and go buy this guy. So one of your best chances, I think, of getting him will be in the draft. So you will have to pay, maybe overpay just a hair, but as the season goes along and these running backs really start juicing up, they really start building up some momentum. I think Caleb Johnson could be exactly what you need for your fantasy playoff run.
Yeah, like he's going behind Aaron Jones. I'd take Caleb Jones before Aaron Jones. I'd take him before Pacheco. I'd take him before RJ Harvey. And then it gets
See,
starts to get a little
it's
dicey of like Henderson, Swift, Connor, and those guys that they
I
have a little
like where
more.
he goes. He goes, I think, right where he should
Yes.
because it's hard for me to nitpick, moving him around as far as ADP goes. No, I like it though. I like it.
Thanks.
And I'm going to be picking another player from that same team, or at least they were on the same team just a few months ago. He's been traded though, folks. He's off to the Cowboy. Yes, that giant star in his helmet. And Pickens, if you think you're going to get paid by Jerry, you got another thing coming, bud. That's not going to happen. Yes, George Pickens heading out to the Cowboys to go play alongside CeeDee Lamb. And folks, this defense gonna suck. Like it's gonna be bad, and it's only gonna get worse if Micah Parsons doesn't make it out there. Which, folks, that's what we love for fantasy. Did we see the Bengals last week or last year? Yeah, we did.
We
No
saw him
defense,
last week
all
too, by the
offense.
way.
Yeah, we did see them last week. This is true. I'm just spitting facts left and right here, and I don't even realize it. But yeah, so I'm imagining we have a similar situation where the Cowboys are just atrocious on defense, having to play catch up. Schottenheimer, as much as there's like rumors and stories of him liking to run the ball, bull shit. This dude's been fired multiple times for throwing the ball too much. Why would he change it now when he's got a mediocre backfield and two amazing wide receiver weapons and a pretty decent tight end to catching the ball? So let's load it up. Pickens, I'm calling it. If you're looking for a guy to have 12 plus touchdowns in this round, I think this is one of the few guys you can find in the area that has that potential.
I mean, I was screaming this guy's top five in talent, so I've been the Pickens believer from the jump. So
Whoa,
Brian just
whoa,
had
whoa, whoa! You have hit the brakes on Pickens over the last 5 6 months. So I don't even know if we can give you the Pickens picker of the pod team right now.
it's funny because Pickens is going right before Tetero McMillan, so it's just like at least like I know in my drafts like I'll get one of them because like they go back to back in the rankings, so like I'm pretty excited in that factor.
And I think it's a perfect approach too because Pickens is the ceiling play, Tet is the floor play.
Yes.
So based on how your team is built, whether this guy is going to be your wide receiver two or your flex spot, I think that it kind of makes it easy when deciding which player you're going to go for.
No, I agree, and I think finally he's got this is the best quarterback he'll play with.
By far.
By far. I think with CD on the outside, I think the only downside I can see for Pickens is being that he's going to rely on a lot of big play action because CD's just going to get open. CD's an immense, great separator, everything else like that, but Pickens will rely on those deep balls. But I think there'll be enough deep balls just because, like you said, this defense is, I mean, it's mediocre at best. And with Micah holding out, and we've seen that those guys get off to a really slow start when they hold out and they finally sign. Like he'll sign, watch, he'll make a theatric because if people have called it before, and I think it's going to happen too, is that he'll sign the day of the game to ruin the Eagles ring ceremony because why not? And he'll be on a snap count a pitch count, and the Eagles the Cowboys are going to have to be, playing catch up the entire time. And so I think that's what plays benefit towards Bacon. So, because I think they'll be playing catch up for in a lot of their games.
Well, and as Jerry's told us too, it's not like Mike is going to be out there for every game of the season anyway because of all those injuries.
You know,
Dick.
yeah. I wish I had
Man.
life with Jerry Jones and treated my team like a fantasy team. Just, you're not going to play all the games, you loser.
Loser. Why don't you give us some players that don't play for a loser of an owner? Well, I don't know if that's
Well,
true. Isn't this
I'll,
Walmart?
yeah, this is one where let's say the richest. I think they're technically the richest owner. Yeah, so my guy's Cortland Sutton. It's kind of a cheat because like he's right at the cusp of ADP for us for these mid rounds. Like the only reason why I have it here is because ESPN has him almost as a seventh round pick, which is just absolutely stupid.
Yeah, we're looking at 502 on Sleeper, 610 on ESPN. Folks, that counts as a mid-round gamble here on this show.
Yeah, no kidding.
I keep
I
trying to do a
couldn't believe it.
dice like shake, and it doesn't look like I'm shaking dice when I'm.
It looks like
Yeah,
you're doing
it's
something else there, brother.
yeah. I look like I'm Deshaun Watson here.
Hey,
Like,
yo. No,
wrong table.
yeah, wrong table for sure. If you would have said Cortland Sutton would have been, I think he finished as wide receiver 13 last year. Yeah. After the first 3 weeks when he was 57, 71, and 39, I think everyone had called you a crackhead. But I mean, obviously, Bo Nix came to life. He got paid this offseason. I think you and I both have said that he is like the epitome of just a safe pick, and you're getting him as like your wide receiver too, where he has the upsides of finishing as a top 12 each week, just because I don't know who's going to be the wide receiver for Denver. It could be Marvin Mims. It could be Troy Franklin. It could be their brand new rookie wide receiver that's supposedly the next coming of Michael Thomas Jr. It could be Deshaun Bailey. I don't know who it is, but I just know Cortland Sutton's going to be out there every snap on an offense run by Sean Payton.
Yeah, if there's so much moving around there with all those wide receivers, he is the good and the consistent guy. As far as consistency goes, 64%, nearly 65% of his games were double digit last year. That's some great work, man. He went out there, 7 red zone touchdowns. This is where Bo Nix is going to look when it comes to the red zone. It's not Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram is not the red zone guy. So like if you're worried about him coming in there and joking it up, no, that's not going to happen.
Fair enough.
How high do you see Cortland Sutton? What's his ultimate ceiling?
I think he's going to do what he did again last year. He's going to be right there in the hunt to being a wide receiver one, but like top 15 easily. And what? And look where he's going. He's going as what wide receiver? Let me see here. Let me pull my rankings back. I just moved over
23
my
is what I have
23.
consensus.
Yeah, like I think it's just
Would you
because
rather
everyone's
have
like,
him or DJ Moore?
I think I like have the Sutton, honestly.
He seems safer than DJ. I think DJ Moore probably has a higher ceiling, ultimately,
Yeah.
just the Ben Johnson offense, but Sutton seems so much safer. And what about Rashi Rice? Rashi Rice is going as wide receiver 21. Right now, speculation is 4 to 6 games. He hasn't been hit with a suspension as of the time of this recording.
If it's 6 games, I'm taking Sutton. If it's four, I'm kind of in that like, oh man, I really like
It's
Rashi
the
Rice a
ceiling,
lot.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's a ceiling.
Yeah.
I know Rashi Rice could be top five, honestly.
Mm-hmm. I'm right there with you. 4 games makes it just so much more intriguing. And yes, folks,
Yeah.
I checked my settings on my home league. Suspended players can, in fact, go in the IR. Go get that fixed before your league makes wake up, folks.
Like it's almost to the point where like him or Marvin, like really, like you want to go down that route. Like, do you really have more faith in Marvin being a better fantasy player
No,
than Cortland Sutton right now? Like,
no, I actually might have Cortland ranked higher than Marv. I need to check my rankings, but yeah, Marv is kind of a fade for me this year.
yeah,
All right, second to last guy for me, it's going to be look. Brennen gave us the warning. He said, folks, do not go after hurt players. You know what, though? Doesn't look like the guy's going to be hurt, so I think he's going to fall out of his circle of stay away. I think Diggs is just barely going to be out of that. And Stephon Diggs, folks, looks like an absolute crush for me at his ADP. Going as wide receiver 38, going at 811 on Sleeper, 904 on ESPN, and 908 on Yahoo. About time we get like, what is that, 5, 6 picks? That's better, folks. A little bit more consistency across the ADP board. But Stephon Diggs, like that wide receiver room, like I get it. They took another second round wide receiver this year. There's a chance that he blossoms into something. But if you think that Drake May is going to break out, like a lot of people are calling for, I think me too. It's got to be on the back of Stephon Diggs hitting 100, 120 targets. And we saw what the guy could do last year. He still has it. I mean the old age, but I just think it's a volume play at this point. At wide receiver 38, you're not going to find the volume that you're going to find here.
yeah, like he's going guys that are going in front of him have a
Jordan
little like Chris
Addison's
God.
ahead of him.
Yeah, Jordan Addison, Chris Godwin, Judy, like I like Waddle and Olave though, so I can't really discuss that.
Ooh,
So like I
ooh.
do think where he's going though, like I'll probably take him if he is for sure ready to go week one. There's no limitations. He's out
Tim
there
or
every
Fat
snap.
Debo? Who you taking?
Dude, don't disrespect Fat Debo like that. All right.
It's him or Old Man Cooper Cup.
I'm taking Diggs before I take Cooper Cup. I've
Yeah.
faded Cooper Cup. Yeah.
Goodbye, Cooper. I'm sorry, man. Triple
Yeah.
crown, but not no mo.
Yeah. And honestly, there might be was it the Stafford effect?
Yeah, it's gonna be hard. That one I'm kind of full fade on. But Stephon Diggs, man, it seems like just a great floor play there in the 8th and 9th round.
You're just hoping for the immense amount of targets though, right? Like
Yeah, buddy.
yeah.
But Diggs has also always been kind of a touchdown guy. He has a nose for the end zone, so like I wouldn't be
Mhm.
surprised if we can get a good 6 to 8 touchdowns out of the guy too.
Yeah, I definitely see that too because it's just like who in this offense are we really like hoping for? Like, because before he got injured, he played looks like well, I'll say 7 games because 8 games I really don't want to count that because he tore his ACL. I mean, he had already in 7 games he had 3 touchdowns. I mean, that's really that's his bread and butter. So I
He
definitely
had
could
four
see
touchdowns. He
him.
had a rushing touchdown as well.
Oh, that's right, a rushing touchdown. Yeah, so he had 4 touchdowns. I definitely could see him kind of leading this team in touchdowns for sure. So, and you're getting him as and the wide receiver 38. Yeah, he can beat that ADP for sure.
Yeah, he had one game below 5 receptions as well in that time period. Including the game he tore his ACL. He was
Yeah,
5 for 981 before that happened.
and that was with Tank and Nico, I believe, as
But yeah,
well.
both
Running
guys
with
were
him.
there for majority of those games. So it's a volume play, and I think the risk is kind of baked into his price.
No, I agree. There's definitely a little bit of risk just because like he's over the age of 30. He is coming off a torn ACL. Like, is he really good to go? Like, it's just there's that gamble. So, but he's worth the gamble though.
Yeah, right there with you. Well, of course, it's my take.
This
All right, give me that fifth guy, man. Who you got for us?
is a homer pick, but I do not care. Like, I genuinely don't care. Like the discrepancy again. I'll tell you the difference. So 906 and sleeper and 1202 in ESPN.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's a 3 round difference. So
Sleeper does not like rookies, or I mean, ESPN does not like rookies. Clearly,
yeah, I look, I it's Tyler Warren for me. And why I say that is because just go put on the tape for Penn State first off. It's immaculate what he did. And then just go put on the tape for the first preseason game because all he did was just sit and all below the coverages and just stand there and do jumping jacks and say I'm open. Anthony Richardson threw the ball to him and Daniel Jones both threw the ball to him. He got all of his catches. He got Amelia taken out after the first quarter. He had 3 catches for 40 something yards. I know it's one preseason game. I'm overreacting. I completely get it. But Brian, I think this dude's going to lead our team in targets and receptions. And I genuinely mean that.
yikes! I mean, it's scary to think about. Pretty damn awesome at the same time. Yeah, Tyler Warren, rookie for the Colts. I think the situation for me is he's going just a few picks after Tucker Kraft, which I do like as well, but you're not getting that discount. You know, he's going consistently in the 10th round, whereas, like you said, Tyler Warren, you can get in the late 10th and 12th round in Sleeper and Yahoo. If you're in a 10 team league, you probably want to take a shot at one of these late to mid tight ends if you're not going those first 3 guys. So, 12 team leagues, I'm a little pulled off more, but I don't mind. I love this Tucker Kraft, Tyler Warren, Colston Loveland section of the draft. You know, right after you get past Njoku and Evan Ingram, Mark Andrews, like this seems kind of where I'm going to be feasting if I'm taking a mid tight end. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I, hey, rookies finished number one the last 2 seasons. Why not
I,
now?
I'm just saying another thing for me is he's not going to leave the field. He's going to be on the field 100% of the snaps. They're going to use him as a joker. Like I know everyone talks about Sean Payton using Evan Ingram. No, he was a joker for college. The team has spoken nothing but glowing things about him being like, well, they used him as a fullback. They've used him out wide. They've used him in different scenarios. So like for me, it's just like if you're going to do that, like I don't see why you don't take a guy that they're planning on using all around the field.
If the Colts tush push, this is the guy they'll use. Like they're not going
Yes,
to risk getting Anthony Richardson hurt anymore. This will be the fellow they stick back there. So yeah, whether it's in the slot, out wide, in line, as a running back, at quarterback, this guy will be all over the freaking place.
I would bet that he has a rushing and receiving touchdown this year.
I would be willing to bet on over 1.5 rushing touchdowns this year.
Yes, I would too.
And no, folks, it's not a homer pick. It's just kind of a homer pick, but the talent's there as well. So
No, I
no,
like
no
Tyler
difference.
Warren. So even if Tyler Warren would have gone to another team, I'd be on it in on him too, just because I think he is such an elite talent.
All right. And my last one I'm going to pull up, it's going to be from a team I've been trying to attack all off season long. The 49ers just have an amazing schedule. They are geared up for quite the bounce back. God, they could not keep anyone healthy right now. And Brennan and I have been back and forth on 2 of the wide receivers for this team. And you know what? Injury has made up my mind. I'm on the Pearsall side. Let's go, Ricky! Ricky!
Ricky.
Yeah, Ricky Pearsall, man. Going as wide receiver, he's going as the 95th pick overall, going in the ninth round in most drafts. 1102 on ESPN, folks. We are just attacking those. So all of those office leagues that you're stuck playing on the ESPN platform, folks, we are going to feast. Ricky is going to feast. I get it. If Jawan Jennings is healthy, re-signed and out there, he did get an insane amount of the first 3 targets from Brock. I almost said Brock Bowers, Brock Purdy. But we also have to remember, Ricky Pearsall was a rookie last year. Ricky Pearsall got shot last year. Ricky Pearsall had a lot of talent on that team around him. So the way he should plug into this offense, we know that Demarcus Robinson is going to be on suspension. Juwan Jennings has been lingering with calf injury. Cowing has a hamstring injury. Ayuk isn't coming back until week 6, and that's from a multi-ligament ACL tear, so it still could take him several weeks before he comes back and he's ready. Ricky! I'm done.
I I mean, I love this pick. So I obviously you were team Juwan. I was team Ricky from the jump. So like the fact that you picked Ricky make just warms my heart. Like you said, last year he got shot, so he gets put on the IR, misses 6 games, and like he didn't look good. But like, what do you expect? The dude got shot. Like he had a slow start of the season. The last 2 weeks, he was wide receiver 6 and wide receiver 15. I mean, I don't expect him to finish wide receiver 6, wide receiver 15, but I definitely see him more as like a wide receiver 20.
If we're playing complete ceiling out, I would say, oh man, I'd put wide receiver 14. I think is his complete ceiling,
Oh
just
yeah,
because of how this wide receiver room looks. Like we might not really have anybody fully recover to the point that they're playing the whole season. You know what I mean?
he could have similar stats to Lad McConkey, but probably
Yeah.
not as many touchdowns, but right there in the receptions and yards.
Yeah, I'd agree. Like that kind of output would not surprise me at all to give you a very high end wide receiver 2 finish.
And no, I'm not comparing him just because of the skin color, right, folks?
I mean, we all were asking. We were all asking.
Yeah, I know.
Tyler Warren, I forgot to ask. What is his ceiling outcome for you? Like, how high could he finish?
Honestly, like tight end 5.
I
I
would
saw
say
Brock Bowers be tight end 1 with worse quarterback. So
I don't think it's unreal to say tight end 3.
yeah,
I really don't. Like George Kittle consistently misses games from injuries, and then all it would take is just a little slump from Brock Bowers, McBride, or just either one of them missing games. So I think
yeah,
that yeah, top 3 shouldn't be out of the realm of possibilities.
absolutely.
All right, just to recap, my 5 players are R.J. Harvey, Tony Pollard, George Pickens, Stephon Diggs, and Ricky Pearsall. Who you got, Brennan?
My 5 guys were Tet McMillan, Kyler Murray, Caleb Johnson, Cortland Sutton, and Tyler Warren.
Nice. Nice. Folks, that is 10 players that you can use and abuse on ESPN, but you should be able to get a decent price across any platform wherever you're playing. Hope those guys work out for you. If you are looking to maybe snag those players on another team, maybe a different format, different league, come on over to the Too Much Fantasy Football Listener League. It's free to enter. Just hop on in the comments. Let us know that you want to play along, and the winner wins $100. That's right. Free to enter, plus there's prize money. How can you do that? Yeah, just slap a review, a like, a comment, whether you're watching on YouTube or the podcast. Let us know. It's at too much underscore Brian on X, at too much Brian everywhere else if you're looking for me. Brendan, where can the people find you?
It's at Too Much Bean Milk on X.
And you can find the show all over on your favorite Instagrams, Twitters, the Tickety Talk, and of course the shorts that we're going to be dropping. We've got content coming out for the rest of August and all of September, October, November, December. It's year round, folks. We don't quit. We don't quit. Anything else for the folks?
No, I think that's it. What's our next episode for the folks?
Oh, it's a secret. We can't tell you. No, it's
That's
my
right.
guys. It's my guys. We've got our 4 favorite players for the season, and we've got to talk about those because somebody doesn't have the best picks always.
Right, right. Who was
No,
your my guy last year?
shut up. I get it. I dropped the ball, folks. It was me last year. He crushed the my guys, but that's all we're gonna say. We're not gonna give any details.
We'll
Until next
see.
time, though. We'll see y'all later.
Deuces.